So like, I know like it's a thing. People have to like shift back and forth. But if you're doing camps, it's literally like if you're playing an RPG and you've beat this game a million times. You've done that jungle camp 100 times probably by now, 1,000 times by now. You don't need to look at that camp. You know how the camp reacts. You know how much damage it's going to take for the most part once you have like an item. Like, you know, you don't have to stare at it. Look at your map. Already in that 5 seconds it's going to take you, 10 seconds it takes you to clear that camp, you should already be looking and going, my mid's pushing, I'm coming there immediately. Like, already be knowing, like, this is the message I'm sending to my legs. I need to go there. So what are we looking at first?
First thing I'm seeing, enemy side team is full AD, right? Like, that's like a thing that usually doesn't happen in higher level play. People understand what damage diversity is, but this is like literally all AD. And there's nothing we can even say where it's like, oh, this, but at least like this person does a little bit of AP. Like, there's no Corki on there or something like that. So automatically I'm thinking as a jungler, like you're gonna go tabbies, right? You're gonna go down the armor path.
Right.
So that's like the first thing that I'm seeing. So I'm seeing not a lot of other frontliners though besides Diana. So I think Diana going Zhonya's is obviously going to be important. But I was thinking as like the Olaf, like you have to automatically think, okay, if Diana doesn't go Zhonya's, I'm the only frontliner. So I'm thinking building bulky here, especially in order to roll through them. I know he ends up with 16 kills, so we'll see how that goes. But I think he also had like 8 deaths or something too.
Yeah, it was a good amount, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see, like, you know, he's like nearing double digits there, like how he builds. But the first thing that I see coming into this is what is their damage output? All AD, like that's uncommon. So building HP first and then into armor is going to be highly efficient, especially for jungle clears and stuff like that. So that's like my initial thought coming into the game. What do you see?
I think you're actually correct about that. It's often I haven't seen too much of the Kayn. Like, people are playing Kayn in lane now all of a sudden. I don't know. Someone's doing it. Some Koreans are doing it, something like that. But and like you said, even in his matchup in the jungle alone, he's gonna need early armor. And if there isn't really a front line, you're gonna see like his thought process of, all right, well, I'm supposed to be able to go in and not die instantly because you have literally a team of 4 other damage dealers. So you don't have to be the you know, front line bruiser. I can do damage and kill someone solo, then blah blah blah. So
right.
I mean,
so
that is basically it. Yeah.
Other thing that I'm thinking also, like while the game's loading, if I'm jungling, I go through all the permutations in my head of what the fights are look like. If I 2v2 top, 2v2 mid, 3v3 bot, what does it look like? So that's like automatically going through my head. Do I win the Olaf Kai'Sa versus Fiora Vi set fight? Probably not, because that ADC is going to get blown up. That Kai'Sa is going to die instantly as soon as the Vi shows up, right? Because they're going to ignore me, the Olaf, and go straight for the AD carry. I'm going to do nothing, and they're going to die. I'm going to be in a 1v2, like, real fast. The 2v2 mid, actually, I think looks pretty good. So the Olaf Diana versus Vi Kayn looks a little bit better, because Diana can fend for herself. She has that shield on that W. She has displacement. She has CC. So that's actually a pretty good like melee fight. And then down bottom, actually it looks pretty comfortable too. Draven's putting out a lot of damage, CC and mixed damage from the brand. True damage, he doesn't true damage anymore, but you know, good DPS coming out. You know, catching Pike isn't going to be hard, but if you just focus Kate, should be easy, and then you can get dragons afterwards. So when I'm jungling, that's like the first thing that I see. What's the damage look like on their team? Who are their front lines? Where are my front lines? Where am I going to be in fights? And then what are the fights going to look like? Up top 2v2, mid 2v2, bottom 3v3.
Yeah. So I would say, just by looking at this, in our opinion, like, we shouldn't. If I'm the jungler, I'm not even acknowledging top at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Because I mean, like, you have a teleport heal up top on an 80 carry versus Fiora. I don't know how that goes for her.
If he's like extended, like hitting turret, and you're up there, and you know that Vi's bot side, it's easy. Yeah, you go for those. But if you, and this is part of jungling, if you think 50-50 Vi might be top side, 50-50 basically means you think you don't know if she's top or bot side, right? So if you're doing 50-50, you definitely don't take those, right? If you're like 80% sure she's bot side, then you can do it. But that comes with like advanced reading in terms of like map movements, like where did she last show? What camps are up for her? Like you kind of have an idea of what her path's going to be. So you can like give it like percentage in terms of risk of her being there. And anything close to 50-50, you don't take it. So I'll try to call percentages as we see it. And we're watching this in VOG, so
yeah. So for anybody who's actually watching this, what he's talking about is like negative confirmation. So if you're a jungler and you invade in top side and you see that like camps are dead, or if you have a ward up there already because someone warded behind their red buff on the other side, and you can see that the jungler has not been there, or let's just say you did see them path towards the right side, they get their raptors. 30 seconds later, there's a good chance they're probably not on that side of the map anymore because they have no camps. So
right, and you got to track that.
Right, so you have to keep that in mind. Those are the things you're supposed to be looking at while you're doing your camps, not staring at your camp. You should be looking at the map, seeing where, because you can see the jungler for a split second and then go, oh, they're on bot side, I can make a move now. And that's the 50-50 that he's talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So,
cool.
Ready?
Yep. Before game even starts, lots of analysis.
I know. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Yeah. Okay,
let's see where this goes.
And that's why I tell a lot of people, the game starts at loading screen. Like I'm looking at summoners, I'm looking at, if you're a jungler is the hardest position in the game for this reason. Like you have to go through all those permutations in your head, all those builds, damage output, fight structures, shot calling. You have options of invading or, clearing camps or ganking. You have to know what all of those permutations look like. And that means you need to have champ familiarity too. Like you need to know what those skirmishes look like. I'm not talking about the 5v5 fights. I'm talking about like 80% of the game that's going to be, those river skirmishes, lane skirmishes as a jungler, right? So
that's actually one of the things that was asked about. People were asking me about Silas, and I was saying that like Silas's first clear is super rough. Like you have to kind of cheat and use like the Q on like raptors and stuff to heal yourself while you're walking to your next camp because you have talisman. So like you have to do like a lot of sneaky stuff, but in the early game skirmishes, most junglers can't beat him because they don't have heal reduction. And healing is such a huge part of his kit that like at level 3, he beats a lot of junglers.
Right.
So exactly like what he's talking about is like knowing when you can win, even if like you end up getting caught out and invade, knowing when your champion is strong. So it doesn't look like he's getting a leash at all.
No, he's not getting a leash.
Yeah.
Slow start then.
So lucky for, okay, they're walking over. So lucky for him, he's actually lost pretty fast clear. We're gonna see how he actually handles his axes though. All right, he's not picking up his axe. That's gonna slow down his time.
You gotta pick that up.
Yep, you gotta pick up your axe always. In between auto attacks, you need to move and pick up your axe regardless. Okay, wow. Okay, she's
doing
helping.
The double leash.
Yeah. So if you pick up your axe there, you will speed up your clear by a lot. That's first blood immediately.
Because it reduces the cooldown back on the axe. Yeah.
That's correct. Yep. Especially because you have blue buff right there, you should be already kiting and get that axe. So your mid's dead.
It's not good.
It's not good. Yeah, you just took your second camp and your mid's dead, so that's not great. And right now, while you're doing this camp, you should already be looking at the map while you're doing that camp. Because all you need is your peripherals to see where that axe goes to pick it up. Okay. All right, so he's gonna probably full clear here.
Yeah, he's going for the full clear. What that means is, so top had a late start. It's being pushed in. That's actually good because their jungler's most likely going to do the bot, like blue side to top side clear. Right? Like they're going to go from blue side all the way up. That's like most starts for Vi. I think she just starts on the bot side with the leash.
Yeah, she needs to get 6 pretty fast. Okay, so one of the things, he may or may not have the information of that. He did stay pretty low, and like Olaf in the jungle, you do actually want to be pretty low because you gain the attack speed from being low.
From W, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. And he started picking up his axe a little more, so that's good. It speeds up his player a little bit.
That's good.
So obviously
kiting in between movements would also help. So what you want to, a lot of people forget that you have to kite as melee, but like throw the axe, attack, move, get closer and closer to the axe, pick it up, throw it, you know what I mean? Quickly looking down bot for a gank is good.
He's pathing for
he's pathing
Scuttle, but his mid is losing that. So
and your brand's also not there, so this is actually risky.
It's very risky.
You don't know where that Vi is right now. Like you haven't seen her, and if you get into a fight, it's a 2v3. And then, you know your mid laner's weak.
Yeah, and there she is.
There's the Vi.
There's your 2v2 you were talking about. Oh, okay, avoided. And we have to think that he was probably put behind a little bit by not getting that leash. So the Vi was definitely ahead of him on clear because she was already on the opposite side coming back.
It's good pressure by the Vi too, because I think she knows that the Kayn already got a kill. So if she can like trade her flash. I just saw her flick bottom on the fog. So like she just showed, yeah, there she is. Yeah, someone should do. I mean, there should have been a ping for that much faster. So she's hovering dragon. We see that. Scuttle shows. But flashless mid. If you're thinking about ganking, it's not a good idea. You get her killed. And Vi's hovering, so this is gonna be a 1v2 or 2v2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If that Kayn had a better thought process there, he probably would have double killed because she was completely.
Yeah. Yeah. She had no mana. I think he could have won that.
Yeah. He had flash and all things, so he definitely wins that with Conqueror. Yep. Yeah. So lucky enough, he didn't try to turn. Oh, caught up on the camp. It's all right. Oh, he's getting low though. All right.
Yeah, probably bases here.
Yeah, he should base.
6.
Okay.
Yeah, that was about 6 seconds until deciding to base. Those little seconds add up in terms of like decision procedure. Like 5 seconds here, 2 seconds there, 3 seconds there. Then you're talking about, eventually that adds up throughout a game. So look how long you're waiting in base. Your full HP 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4. So about 4 seconds there. So you wasted about 10 seconds on the map already.
If you're regenning your health, you should. Ooh, that's a dive in. I'm gonna look at that. He's fairly low. Okay, so I clicked over and I looked at that to make sure.
Yeah, he gets away. Chasing him is no big deal.
I gotta disable.
You were about to say wait at the steps, right? When you're healing.
Yeah, wait at the edge of the steps.
Yeah, you want edge of steps. That saves you time from those extra steps, those extra seconds there. Put you back on the map ASAP. Probably don't take that fight. Walk away. No. So you gotta start clearing camps because now you're just like an active ward.
He does have a level advantage. Interesting.
He does.
Yeah. Does he get it?
Surprised she chose to fight.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
That was mostly bad play on her part. Like she should have just walked away. She has bomb plant. She could walk.
Yeah, that's true. Like she could have walked out. So that means that based on what we could see, we couldn't see her the time she was wasting, but she had to have been wasting time.
Yeah, she was hovering that area for a while.
Yeah.
Also in the camps, you mean? In the camps.
Yeah, she had to have been wasting time. Okay, good secure. Okay. Yeah.
Get the kill here too.
And that's a kill. Okay, he's ignited.
This is gonna be
tough.
tough.
Right away. Yep, there you go.
Good ult.
Okay. Oh. I think he should have stuck around there, but
I think you could have, stuck around at least.
Stuck around a little bit. He's recalling. They're gonna fight. I'm gonna click over there and see what they're doing. Okay. He's basing. Do they pick this up? No, they don't pick it up.
Yeah, I didn't see how many refillable potion charges were left. Oh no, he's waiting at the steps. That's good. But I think maybe staying and clearing bottom or something like that would have been fine. But right here, what I'm thinking right now, if I'm Olaf, I see obviously all my camps are up.
Yep.
Top is basing, so I probably am thinking Gromp Blue Wolves and then go down and do a clear again.
Yeah.
Because mid's based, top based, and that gives me the option of being bot side for either clearing camps or the ganks
and
on either mid or bot. Because again, you're avoiding top.
And your other alternative, now that your mid is back, because you're Olaf, is he said Gromp Blue Wolves. You could do Wolves like Blue Gromp or in something in that order, and because the Rip Herald was popping, yeah, see, there you go. Mid dies again. He already mentioned that like your weak side is top, so it's risky for you to do it unless your mid is there. But you do want to try and secure that before 10-minute mark so that you guarantee plates.
So the thing I'm seeing right now here is their bot lane is pushed up. Vi's gonna gank bot. Like there's like a high percentage chance. So at this point, I actually probably skip Raptors,
Mhm.
maybe do red,
Yeah, red.
but probably not. I probably go straight to Krugs here and hover bot, so just so I'm closer to the fight, because they don't have river warded.
Right.
So the odds of this gank here is like super high. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I know the Draven brand pressure is going to be really strong, but I mean that's just inviting a gank.
He finds the Vi again. She just tried to counter jungle him, which is extremely dangerous for her to do. Okay, she gets out. That's, you know, I guess the best she could have played that. He did good.
We know she's bot side, so you do have to hover around
now.
her.
Yeah, see, no, he should have went bot. Yep, should have went bot right there. Because you know you have health advantage. That's where you get that collapse and you kill. Let's see what he gets from mid. Does the Kayn get out? The Kayn does not get out. Okay. Gank pays off. Yeah.
Yeah, and mid gets the win. I mean, luckily, that's kind of a luck thing, though. Like, that was, in my opinion, like, the weaker decision of the two that just ended up playing out well because the Draven and Brand are good. They're better than your other laners.
Right.
But, like, you want to go off the information, like, that you know. And you know that the Vi is about to kill your bot.
Yep. And you already, attempt to. Oh, say it. There you go. So that kill that just happened right there would have happened 30 seconds beforehand because you knew she was in that brush and they knew she was in the brush.
Yeah, and then you get pressure. The other thing is if you know that the bot lane's doing really well, you have two decisions you can make. Either leave them alone and let them do their thing because they're doing fine and you can add pressure elsewhere on the map like you just did. Or you can go there and actually push that lane for them to like help either get the kills or mitigate their deaths. And then push the turret and free them up so that you can unleash their terror on the rest of the team. So you want to free up that Draven and Brand as much as possible so they can come and stuff the Kayn, stuff the Fiora, who are slowly building a lead. Because look at that Fiora CS advantage, right? Look at that Kayn CS advantage. Like you're already seeing your top and your mid are bleeding. You got to save them, and either you're gonna have to do that or you're gonna have your better side come and help. And so you have to make a decision there.
And it was good because you pointed it out before that when he went mid there, the Diana was 0-3. She picked up the kill on that. That's very fortunate, but also bad because you already know, one, based on her play so far, she can't 1v1 him.
I don't think she's gonna carry the game.
Yeah, right. So you gave her gold, right? And this is something that you talk about, like you put your gold, which is, you know, your ammunition, on somebody who can effectively win the game for you. And giving her kills at that point is probably not the best thing because you just kind of reset her gold for her. Does he get it? No, he doesn't. Okay. So this Vi is oh, okay. This is risky. This is very risky.
It's too risky.
That's
because you know it's the 1v2.
Yeah, you know it's a 1v2. You opt into it, and she has a 2-level advantage.
Yeah.
So definitely risky. But yeah, like you said, the Draven, if there's a Draven in the game, you just camp for him. If he already shows he can win the lane, just camp for him. Like they're gonna 2v3. Yeah, they were like 2v3ing basically.
This is the stuff you don't want to see because now you just saw your strong side go down.
Yeah.
So that investment on top, that's the reason why it's like, okay, like you just admit that you're not going to put eggs, you know, your time and effort into top, help your mid, mostly help your bot. Going to drag is a good idea, but your lanes are down. So, I mean, we know that they're based.
Right.
Going for the kill, I think that's just okay. I think taking Infernal was the better idea.
Yeah. So this will pay off. It should pay off. He didn't pick up the axe. He didn't pick up the axe. He didn't pick up the axe. He's gonna have the flash to get this. He has the flash to get this.
You don't have another Q if you want it.
Yep.
And now they're up, and so now Dragon's off the table.
Dragon's off the table. Yep.
So like you could have guaranteed Infernal, right there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's see if he gets it anyways. The Vi's kind of shit.
They're gonna pressure mid. They're gonna pressure mid. Yeah, they're pressuring mid.
They get something for it now, whereas before it was free.
Yeah.
Not free because you had already made that trade.
But you're right. It was gonna be free. It was gonna be free. And then when you make that play, you have to get that kill to maintain the status of that dragon being free. He didn't.
Sure.
But then them making a bad play in mid made it free again.
The reason I don't think of it as free is because Kayn had already come by. So that was the price. That was the cost.
Oh, nice play by them though. Okay, and that was poor. Okay, So what we're seeing is very poor decision making by the Vi.
Push.
No,
like,
they got
that's
turret.
on the map.
That's turret. That's
oh,
turret.
Dude, that was turret.
That was
turret.
You
gotta get the objective.
What's it at? What's it at? What's it at? Let me see. Oh, it's really low. That because I was gonna say it's not even a full
pushed.
plate.
You know where the Fiora is.
Yep.
I think you're just way too kill centric right now.
No. That's a 1v1. That's a 1v1.
You're in a 1v1.
Oh my goodness. No way. Yeah. No way.
Fiora, a better Fiora would have just killed the Kaisa.
Yeah. She would have. That's how I was like, no way. She just stood there. She didn't even pop to the other side of him.
So better players will fuck you up there for that decision.
Yeah.
Again, another bad decision, good outcome kind of thing that happened.
So one of the things I had discussed with him was about his name escapes me, but one of his friends is doing well in top lane. He's playing Alawi, and one of the things I said was because the champion is so oppressive. And
you get away with stuff.
And because you need to you have to have mechanics to beat her.
Yeah.
That he can dominate lanes right now. Like he's just pooping on everybody. Oh, this. So Olaf is that hit. Interesting. Olaf is kind of like that in the jungle. To where that's a good push. He has so much brute force that when people are like, oh, I'm playing this mechanical champion, he just does true damage and runs at them, and it pays off. Yeah. So like you said, as he's gonna do well because of his aggression to be like, I'll take this fight, when if we're thinking about it, a better Fiora, like you said, would have just outplayed me and then I would have died because she had 2-level advantage. But because the mechanical skill is a lot lower in this game, they're just like, I'll stand here and auto attack you. And then Olaf just
see how much
that.
money someone has?
How much what?
Money people have?
X. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So he had 669 gold left in his pocket, and he also had 3 camps up for the base.
Right.
So I thought that was a little bit inefficient. I think you could have come back with more items in your pocket by clearing. Because I think he was short.
He was short. He was short. He would have cleaver right now if he did the 3 camps. You said 3 camps, right?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, if he did 3 camps, he would have cleaver right now. For this fight. Yep. For this fight. They split up damage. That cost you the fight, actually. And it wasn't so much your mistake, but the Kaisa didn't follow the Kayn. She followed the Pyke, who has high escape.
Yeah.
That was a big mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think basing, you want to do some math on what do I want to buy? How much do I need? Can I go get that money right now before I do it?
Right.
Because what you basically did was left all that money on the table, went back and try to come and get it, and instead now you don't even get any of it. You get raptors. So you left a lot of money on the table there, and it's kind of inefficient to leave it there, come back, and then get it.
And then go back again for another 30-second
and then
walk.
go back again. Yeah, because it slows down your next camps too. So that's the other thing, right? You want them to respawn as soon as possible so that you can get their gold again, right? So the longer you leave them up, the more you leave not only that money on the table, but the next iteration of the camp as well. Yeah, this Fiora is dude.
That was fairly close too. Yeah. So
if she had kited for vitals, I think.
She would have. Yeah, she would have got the heal. That's the flash. Okay, that's a kill. All right, they're kiting. Okay, Pyke possibly gets both here though. That's a knockup. Pyke gets both. Pyke does get both. Yep. All right, so it looks like now that they're leaving the lane, I want to see what kind of effect this Draven's gonna have on the game, because it looks like Pyke is kind of running rampant.
Yeah, and the thing that we talked about was 10 minutes ago about helping bot side. Draven's still working this turret. He just got
it. Yep.
The 7-kill Draven is now free to roam. You know, he can push this up, and he's doing that well. So that's kind of what you want to look for. You have to decide based on how people are playing. Because I see this Draven and Brand's mechanic and the rest of these dudes, and they're clearly better.
Yep.
Brand and Draven are better than most of the people on your team and their team too. I decide to free those guys up.
But see, like you just said, it doesn't, and people usually take it personally, right? So he's going to be playing with his friends and stuff like that, and they're going to get to the point where someone is going to be like, oh, well, you should gank for me, blah, blah, blah. Right? So like right now, there's a fight there. You don't go there. Yep. You turn around, you give that dragon, you take the mid. Just take the mid. Yep. There you go.
Yep, push mid.
Take that mid.
Just push mid. You know they're on it.
Yep. You don't go and watch them. You never watch them do an objective.
Good.
Yep.
Herald's good.
Yeah, it'll guarantee it. It'll guarantee it.
Yeah.
But I would say people get offended because
don't go back.
No. Because you don't gank for them.
That's also risky.
That
Why
is
are you here?
extremely risky.
Now you're running.
We don't know how many people are chasing.
Nah,
possibly two. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one.
One. That's a 1v1 right now. 2, 3. He gets one. Gets the second one. Oh, possibly.
Yeah, the 1-for-1 is fine, but again, the opportunity cost of the other things you left on the table, right? Like you could have done camps, you could have, you know. So the 1-for-1's not bad, but it's also not very good at all.
It's not good when you were 5-1.
Yeah.
2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You got it.
A lot of deaths.
You have to treat
notice
yourself.
all of them have been like topside.
Yeah, exactly. You have to treat yourself.
That's the pregame analysis right there. Where it was like, you and I were both like, we avoid topside.
Yeah.
We're
just
not
stay
going
away.
up there.
Stay away.
Just stay away from topside, unless
look
you
at,
like.
Look at this.
80%.
Look at this. This is the guy you play around.
Yeah, you play around this guy. He's catching active.
That guy.
Yep.
That guy.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
I'm gonna look over there because the fight's so. Yeah, he's still on it. Still on it. I don't know why the brand was so far away.
The brand left. No
yeah.
right there.
Oh, he hit him with the question mark. He hit him. He hit him with the question mark.
No.
Yep. He was like, bro, why weren't you? He had ult. Did he have ult that whole time? Yeah, no. No, he did not gun.
It's a low-level thing. I mean.
No, he did not gun. He did not have ult when 2 people were killing Draven. He did not. We're gonna say he didn't because I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm just gonna say he didn't. There's no way possible. No way possible.
So right there, taking blue before Gromp. I'm a little bit greedy. I like to have blue longer. So I burn my mana on Gromp and then go to blue so I have the longer blue timer up. Just like a little value thing, but you got to think like that. Like where can I get little value here and there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, got to think about those extra seconds.
There you go. He's
got to move.
That's persistence. Okay. Okay, fight started.
Your front line.
Oh, he mistimed it. That's a good Diana ultimate. Olaf going in, popping ult. Okay.
I would have gone in on that. I saw Kate top.
Yep.
So like, this, like with one dead, there's only 3 possibly in there.
Yeah, it was safe.
Two.
It was safe.
2 dead.
So there's gonna be
going in
a larger point in this game where something's gonna happen. Like there's going to, because he's building armor right now. He's going Righteous Glory. That's guaranteed. He's going Righteous Glory right now. So there's gonna be a point in this game where something bad happens to make them lose this. Like the Draven's gonna become ineffective somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got the Kate. Don't want to.
Good.
Let me see. Did anybody burn? No. Kaiser burned.
5 showing top side. I mean, Baron was on the table after that. Yeah. At least like.
This is takeable. This is takeable.
Yeah. I would have considered Baron after that. I mean, you have double ADC.
Yeah.
Like.
You take the Baron there. That's definitely a Baron. So at 22 minutes, that was the Baron call. And I know a lot of people like to wait for the we killed 3 people, 4 people. That's like Gun was saying, you don't need that because they're fighting. Yeah, gotta keep an eye on the map. Keep an eye on the map while you're doing camps. Always looking at the map while you're doing camps. Don't look at yourself.
Coming in. The mid slow push was good. Top slow push would have been better because then you get other things for adding pressure on the map.
The Kaiser didn't push, so I can't even comment on that. But the Kaiser didn't push. She just cleared the wave and that was it.
It's a decent fight here.
That's a good fight. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that heal was late, but all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going well. You have your frontliner. He's tanky. All right.
Oh.
You need to get something.
What do you need
to no recall. No recall.
Don't base.
No recall.
Don't base.
No recall.
Put pressure, do something.
Okay, it's like he heard us.
There you go. That's better. Yeah, I know. I was like, what do you push? Get some, because you got to think. Okay, so kills are fine, but it's kills get you things. They're not the things you want to get themselves. Like, what do they get you? Like, the kills here get you mid. So yeah, you shouldn't have been thinking about mid basing at all. Yeah.
So
yeah, you just go here.
if you play hockey or something like that, you think of kills as power plays. Okay, you have an advantage to take something that matters. Kills are not goals.
You gotta work on your kiting.
He gets that. He gets
you
that.
get the kills, but that's good. You gotta work on your kiting. So move between attacks.
This is the brute force. This is what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, you
can brute force.
Like
Yep.
You right click and took your hands off your keyboard basically.
He's see, and that's exactly it. So like he works on, you know, like I said, he watches a lot of videos. He's working on this kind of stuff. But like these kind of things on a different champion will get you punished.
Yeah, you gotta move.
Because
like a boxer. Think like a boxer. You gotta keep moving.
Yeah, exactly. Because most other champions will be able to be CC and you'll get locked down.
Interesting decision
This
to
is
take
a focus.
dragon here.
That's a focus. Okay. There you go. Does Kane actually stay alive? No, he does not. There's that reckless swing. Okay. Sick play. The old okey doke. Hit him with the Caitlyn ace in the hole in the brush.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it. I like it.
So right there, left Raptors on the table again. So that's another camp you didn't get, and now you have to go back and clear.
What's
so
he got?
Got
What's he got?
negative.
That is, yeah, because of the respawn time. That's correct.
Yeah, and you also have 1100.
1100, which is weird. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you looking for? You're finishing
Cerix or Titanic?
Probably needed some gold, sell the refill, and then buy something to upgrade that fist to something else.
He gets pickaxe no matter what on that recall.
Right. I think selling your potion there would have been fine because now you don't need it anymore.
Then he gets
lifesteal.
He actually gets pickaxe and the ruby crystal if he does.
Yeah. So think more about your gold because I don't think you're looking at that at all. It seems based on your backs, like you're not looking at what you intend to buy, and you're not thinking about it.
Okay. We see two.
I don't like this invade at all.
No.
Yeah.
Because we saw one mid, we saw one bot. That was it. That's all.
Yeah, and you don't have pressure on the map too. Like that's not a good time to be past the borders. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be past river if you don't have pressure anywhere.
And the dangerous thing, like we were talking about with that, all you could tell was based on the 3 wards that were over by their blue buff on the other side, is that nobody was on that side of the jungle. So invading on the top side of the jungle is very, very sketchy.
Yeah, you don't have anywhere to fall to. No one's pushing anything. So your team doesn't even get anything for it. It's just you just died.
And right now,
that's free.
Yeah,
that's free. That's what I think is free. Like you traded nothing for your death. Like absolutely nothing.
Yeah. So in those scenarios, whenever someone's pushing or if you're invading or something like that, if people collapse on you, they should have to pay a price for that collapse. I'm assuming that he dies. I'm not even going to change the camera to that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dies.
Olaf going up top, I don't think it's good. You just saw pressure elsewhere on the map. This is wasted map movement. Like you could have been clearing mid, you could have been re-pushing bot, so you're losing pressure on the map. So you went up and now down. So that was like a wasted 15 seconds. So even just talking about like the ones that I had mentioned, that 3-4 seconds there, plus another 3-4 seconds, plus this other like 10, that's 20 seconds of the game that you just like spent
basically standing still. Standing still.
Yeah. Like if you just stood still for 20 seconds and then not had wasted any other movements, that's the equivalent. So think about the value of every second of your movement. Every microsecond when you're kiting even is calculated, in my opinion.
When you pull 4 resources now, the only thing we know is Kane's dead, Fiora's dead. We don't know where anybody else is. What are you getting off of this right now? So it's not your job to do this, but you guys should be like, hey, push that wave out, push this wave out. Top's already pushing and snowballing, so you don't have to worry about it right now. But right now, people should be dropping wards, getting vision. You should be getting something during this time when people are dead.
Where's Dragon Timer on this spectate mode?
I have it set to a button. I have it actually set to a button. I don't remember what the actual button is.
I have no freaking clue when it's up.
I'll tell you.
It should be.
I'll tell you what it is right now. Because I have the actual key set on my
So yeah, you're on that dangerous part. That's kind of like a lesson you should have learned a while ago, where it's like you know, you don't have that much pressure. It's a little bit better than before, but being on that side, don't want to do that. So now you're basing. No, you're not. So that's another like 3 seconds.
Where is it?
Now you're coming up here and like what's about to happen? We're gonna fight? Okay, I think we're gonna fight. You gotta get something for this.
It's N.
Potentially? N.
N.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I was up on the side. Yeah.
Yep. That's an okay
Ooh,
fight.
lucky that missed. Okay, fortunate enough. Okay, the Draven gets killed. So that means right now, at this point in the game that they are, the Kayn, the Kayn can kill the Draven.
Yeah.
So this is the turning point that we were talking about. He has 14 kills now.
Damage that is done.
Yeah.
Like the Draven's window for winning the game is over.
Yep.
Yeah, so Dragon's gonna come up soon. So I mean, like you wanted to back with like a bunch of gold in your pocket earlier. I think it was like 1800. Can't remember before that fight, because you took some other stuff too and got some kills. So like you want to turn that money into damage. You know what I mean? Because you're just sitting on it.
Whoa, whoa,
So
whoa,
I
whoa,
would've
whoa, whoa,
considered going
whoa!
back.
What happened to his Jarvan's fist?
Wait, I didn't see what he changed it to.
He had Jarvan's fist.
He did.
I didn't. He has Blade of the Rune
Did
King
you
now.
sell that?
If
Ooh.
that, I'm not gonna go back because I want to stay synced up.
No,
but,
same.
I
Yeah, you want
want
to
to
sell
say
that.
that.
You
I want
definitely
to
sold
say
it.
that sold. Yeah, he sold it. He sold it 100%. Yeah. Don't.
I saw him being base with it.
Yeah, he
That's
had it.
super gold inefficient.
Yeah, it's inefficient. Yeah, it costs you. It probably costs you the start of another item actually to do that.
So what that indicates, though, further, you know, just to take that back a step further, think more about your build as you're playing.
Right.
Because what that means is you're not thinking about it. You're just kind of reacting to things happening. So you have to like do more preparation, in my opinion.
Like know like what your first 2 items are going to be, and then you're like, well, who's ahead? Okay, that guy's ahead. I need to be building this already.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Because I think finishing, I mean, any Jerem's fist completion would have been fine.
Starix
Like,
would have been fine.
You don't need like you don't need more damage. Like you're killing stuff. Like, you're doing damage.
And when you think about the Starix is damage. It gives you like 50 damage or something.
Yeah.
But it's like base attack damage. So yeah.
So I'm not saying Bork was wrong. It's just
Right.
that you should have started building that if you wanted to build that. I also think Starix is not wrong either. Like that's fine, but the point is you didn't decide. Like you got to decide
exactly.
what you want.
Yeah. Because you paid like an extra 800 gold for it.
Yeah, that's a shit ton of gold. That's so much money.
Yeah. Oh, that was smart to not go there. That was smart to not go there.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. They get that. Okay.
But losing pressure on the map now. Yeah,
Yep.
this is where
Yep.
I
This
could
is
already
it.
tell like they're about to win. Because the reason is you guys are way too kill centric. Your whole team is kill centric without thinking about
Because
objectives.
we didn't even get past all the kills that were on the board. We didn't even get past the tier 2s.
Yeah. I mean, even the other teams playing that way, it's just like a matter of luck. It's just like, oh, we killed more of your guys.
Yeah.
It's not a decision. It's just like, oh, they're over here. Let's fight. So that, I mean, that's how low elo games go. But you could affect that as the jungler by applying pressure. Like, you know,
and then
like 8 minutes into the game, that one decision of trying to free up that Draven, like that's your win condition.
And you're just like,
And
hey, take this. And
yeah,
you
you
just
didn't
ping
take
somebody.
it. You instead went for the Diana, and look what she did for you.
Or top side with the Kaiser.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Top side with the Kaiser. So
There's a lot of like, I mean, I have a feeling this game's gonna end pretty soon.
It's gonna end pretty soon,
yeah, it's just gonna be one big fight. But I think there's a lot of like mental prep. So things like gold, champs, skirmishes, permutations. It's not easy, man. Jungle is the hardest role in the game. Like it takes so much mental work. So you need to be tracking a lot of stuff. Like where's their jungler? What are my timers? What camps are up? What gold's on the table? Who's pushing? Who's not pushing? What's soft pushing? What's fast pushing? right? Like you have to track a lot of stuff, and so you have to get. I can tell by the way you're playing that you're not thinking about that. It's not an insult. I'm just saying it's difficult. You know, that's
Oh
like
no, yeah.
you got to train yourself.
I've said the same thing to him, and I'm like, look, I'm not saying it to
Yeah,
be rude or anything, but no, he's
no,
like,
no,
no, it's fine.
I'm not good at this. Like this is hard. Like doing this well is really hard.
Yeah.
And that's why if you play against really good junglers, they will always be where they need to be.
Yep.
It's like if you ever played against that jungler, where it's like this guy's fucking everywhere. It's like
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Because he's tracking you, he's tracking map movements. He knows exactly where the plays are going to be. So like you want to be that jungler.
Yeah, because it's like you said.
That's all mental. That's all in the brain.
Okay, what do we get after this?
We're basing.
Okay, we're basing. You Olaf, bro. You could get that mid wave and heal up off of it.
Yeah. I mean, he's got 2k gold. Let's see what he's pressure on.
Okay. But,
wait, there's the Jerem's Fist again. So it just changed to a he just bought a Sterix.
Yeah, so he had because he had Ruby Crystal in his inventory.
Yeah.
So which is interesting. No, he didn't. He didn't. He had to have sold it, bought the Ruby Crystal, and then started Sterix Cage again. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yep, pick one. That's it.
The value of finishing an item in this game is really high because of the final stats that you get. Like usually that like legendary unique passive thing is like big.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it's pretty
you want to get those.
So he's full build.
Yeah, full build, huh? Full items. Probably go back for an elixir with no, you don't have money for elixir, but you do have money on the table that'll help get you one. So now you're just basing to top off 200 HP.
Nah, yeah. Like you said, if you're looking at the map, so remember, I was saying this earlier, as a jungler, I'm looking at the map that whole time if I'm hitting a camp because the camp never changes. It's not a like you said, a different permutation of a boss fight. Like it stays the same throughout the entire game. And as you get further into the game, you kill them easier. So you should always be just looking at the map. And if you knew your Gromp was spawning, you get your Gromp, you get your Wolves, and you can get that. And then you can buy your elixir.
These Ragnaroks are a little bit early.
Yeah, Ragnarok a little early.
I mean, we know this isn't going to go well.
Yeah. So that's a basic mechanical decision thing. Save your Ragnarok for when like you think you need to blow through a CC. It does give damage. It also shreds your resistances that you get from the passive. So like unless you're like I can burst this person out, or you need to run through a CC, hold it for like key moments.
Yeah, the AD's. I mean, you get a massive amount of AD for it, I guess.
Yeah, you do. It's at like 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, it kind of ended the way that I thought it would.
No.
So yeah, that's kind of it for me. Like, basically, jungle's hard. The reason it's hard is because you got to look at all these permutations. I think you can start by looking at the pregame and doing more of like loading screen analysis. You know, just sit there and think, okay, just walk through it. What does my 2v2 look like top, 2v2 mid, 3v3 bot? What do all the skirmishes look like, right? And then you have to decide, okay, what's the side I want to get strong, so you get weak. If the Kai'Sa's just like blowing up the Fiora, like, then fine, use your win condition. You know what I mean? Like that's not going to happen. But if your Fiora is like diamond, and I'm sorry, if your Kai'Sa is diamond and your Fiora is like bronze or something, you know, you want to get that guy ahead, right? If he's not already ahead. Or you could just watch like their play. So you should be looking, as Weava said, on their lane, seeing how well they're doing. You know, I'm flicking the camera on you and then going bot screen, bot side to see how they're doing. I'm like, okay, this Draven's got mechanics. Like he knows how to move, right? So, and he's getting kills. So okay, like he's looking pretty good. So you have to kind of decide where you want to invest your time. The other big thing is that I noticed was a lot of wasted movement, wasted time. So again, take 1 second, 3 seconds, 20 seconds. You know, all of those add up. And if you know. I think it would be even like a separate video just to go through all of the wasted movements that you had. So sort of like clean up your movements. And what that means is what you should be thinking is, okay, what do I want to do next? What do I need next? Okay, I need gold. So I'm going to go clear these camps and then I can base and then come back and get ready for this dragon. That's at least like a couple of steps you're thinking ahead. But you're not even thinking about sort of like the 1 or 2 steps in front of, like the first step in front of you. So kind of take the mindset of like, what path do I need to flow through? Right? Like what camps are up, what's pushing, what's not pushing. You have to absorb all that information and decide how you're going to where you're going to move, and just do it. You know what I mean? It might be a bad decision, but at least do it, and you're not like idling for. I don't. This game you probably idled for a long time.
It was a
You know?
little bit, yeah.
So it might not be a good decision, but one thing you can do is at least it's a decision, right? So you're focusing on reducing the amount of downtime by cleaning up all of the excess time you have in shopping and like deciding whether you want to go back in base or not. So just clean all those up. Mechanics, that's going to be a thing you develop over time, kiting and stuff like that. Build order. Aside from just basically don't sell your big items. But
yeah.
The positive way to approach that is, in terms of how you should be thinking about it, I should say is, decide on a build. Look, that comes with a prep. Like decide on the build. What do you think builds well? Adapt. The Bork wasn't an adaptation. It seemed like just a change of mind.
Yeah.
And so think about that. What are the other big points? I think that's basically it.
Weava? That was basically it. I was gonna say, you talked about it at the start. It was like one of your first points, and a lot of that, like you said, depending on if I'm going bot, right, and I'm like, hey, this Draven is really good. So there's 3 things I'm looking at if I'm a jungler. So 2 of which the laner probably notices. So I'm looking at either where my win condition is, right, who my best player is. How you're doing in the lane. So if I'm not ganking your lane, there's 2 things that are happening in that lane. One of which is you're either playing super poorly or you're dumpstering your lane so hard that I don't have to come there. Now, those are the first 2 things. And the third thing is if I'm doing poorly as a jungler, I go to your lane because I don't get back in the game as a jungler who's doing poorly by going to the lane that needs help. I go to the lane that's already dumpstering and I help them push, take the tower, get them out on the map, because that was one of the things Gunn was talking about earlier. And it was that because I'm not strong, I'm not supposed to be trying to just make myself strong. I'm supposed to be enabling the person who is strong currently to go and affect the map. And by using them as like your rocket launcher, your bazooka, whatever on the map at that point. By proxy, you are now going to spread the global gold. And everyone on your team is going to get stronger because you're grouping around this person and you're enabling them. You're basically their arms and their legs and holding people down so that they can kill them. That's basically how that works. So like I said, people get offended. They're going to ping you as a jungler. Okay. And like Gun said, he's going in from champ select going, all right, if this guy's good, I'm going to be there. I'm going to, change my build if someone's getting fed, whatever I have to do. But he's not listening to someone pinging him going, get over here. I need you to here right now. Because if you go, oh, well, I'm gonna be over here. You're the jungler. You should already know where you need to be. You should already be thinking about, like, regardless if you're like iron, silver, bronze, whatever. In your mind, what you think is the correct move, you should already have it set. And letting someone like tell you, hey, come over here. I'm gonna ping you. I need assistance. Blah blah blah. If you can look at that while you're doing your camp and you go, nah, no chance in hell I gank that. Then don't. Like most people, especially in solo queue, because you can't really talk to people, you can't communicate what you need to effectively. Like Gunn always says, like you CC yourself by talking to people and typing to them. So that's it. Like I've done a video on that. By taking that time to try and talk to them to get your point across and be like, hey, I didn't gank you because blah 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 blah. That's basically like you're standing there doing nothing. So if
I don't even type in ranking.
Right, exactly. So you're like, oh, cool. Those people who you're playing with will be with you for all of 45 minutes. There is absolutely no impact that you have to make on that person. If you play like a god and that person adds you and they're like, yo, you're good. Cool. If that person's like, hey, you sucked. You didn't gank my lane. Who the hell cares? Guess what? If we won the game, it won the game. Like if you're playing with friends and you guys are learning stuff, you're like, hey, you can talk to them and be like, hey, look, I didn't come to your lane because you're already feeding. Like there's nothing I gain by going to your lane. If that person's pride is hurt, and this is the difference between the way I'm teaching and Gun teaches. He's not worried about your pride when he says something to you. He's not worried about it if it hurt your feelings. He's telling you this is the logical thought process that I had, and this is why I never came to your lane. You were showing me that you were inefficient, like at doing your job, whether it was killing that person, becoming tanky, being awesome support, getting vision, whatever it is. If you're not worth the time of him going there, he's not going to go there. And that's the idea that you're supposed to have as a jungler. All your movements have to be maximal like efficiency, because the time that you waste burning on someone else somewhere on the map, you've now put yourself behind. Because it's not like you just throw gold across the map and give it to them. You have to move your body. That's 30 seconds that you walk to any single lane to gank for them. If you get nothing, you've now CC'd yourself for 30 seconds and you go, oh, well, I could have got that camp. So like all of these thoughts, this is the reason why he was saying, he said it multiple times in the game, jungling is not easy. But everyone who's in a lane thinks that it's easy. But if they take
all they think is come to my lane.
Come to my lane.
That's all they're thinking.
Yep.
That's come to my lane. It's like, no, that's like one of the things I have to consider right now.
One thing. They're like, look at the map. Aren't you looking at the map? I'm pushed in. Okay, that's fine. You're pushed in. Guess what? You get to practice last hitting on turret. Like, that's all there. Oh, the jungler's coming top. Okay, you see my Draven down there? It's got 7 kills. I'm going there. I'm gonna
talk about.
Look at that guy.
I want to talk about kills real quick because 16 kills is a lot, but you know what I think a lot is? 5 kills. That's a lot of kills. In my opinion, 5 kills is mass. At a professional level, if somebody's 5-1, it's over.
Oh yeah, it's over. Yeah, the game's done. Yeah,
they're steamrolling. They are steamrolling. So 16 kills is great, but you have to remember 5 is great. 5 is a lot. You do a lot with 5 kills. You're super massively ahead, and there's no reason at that point you shouldn't have been affecting the game. And that's why I wanted to talk about all of the other, pressure points that could have been, talking about Draven, him being the win condition that game. It might be the Diana next game. You know what I mean? It might be the Kai'Sa next game, and you have to have the ability to take those kills and invest it into the lane that you think is going to double your return on those kills. You know what I mean? So you could obviously triple them yourself, but it's always better to bring someone else online and have them dominate with you.
100%.
That's an instant double.
100%. If you go with 5 kills down to that bot lane that had the Draven was 7 and 2, you go there with him and the brand. Who is coming to fight you? If you just walk it down,
who's gonna fight you guys?
Unless everyone is missing off the map. Unless everyone is missing.
It takes their whole team.
There is no chance anybody on that team was fighting them. No chance.
Shit, I don't even gank that lane. If I'm 5 kills and I see that massive Draven, I just walk. And I'm like, all right, let's push this in.
I got Rift Herald.
18 minutes to get out of that lane.
Mm-hmm.
It took him 18, and at the 8-minute mark, I was like, shit, I want to free that guy up, right? Like he had like 2 kills. Brand had 1 kill, 1 death. I think it was like a 2-0 Draven, 1-1 Brand or something like that. That's massive. That's massive. And you had like 2-3 kills. Like, yeah, free that up. Like get that to win more, and do more of that. But you tie, I would even say that you tied him up in, as the Olaf, you tied him up in not freeing him up, because they did their best in that 2v2 situation, and with some of those ganks that happened, and they're trying to like push. They're trying to get out of lane. They're pushed up the turret a lot, and they're trying to take that turret, but they can't. And you need to identify that they can't.
Yep.
That's the part that they're lacking. You come in there, just tap it in, get those plates, free them up, and win. The game ended at 36 minutes. You guys could have won in 20.
Yeah, I mean, with the damage, I mean, and this is a more advanced thing. If like, let's just say they're winning a lane, right, and they're beating up on a Caitlyn, which they were just crapping all over Caitlyn, and Pyke. Like, if you're Olaf and you already got kills, like you push the wave in, and like I said, more advanced, you dive them. You just dive them and kill them. Like, okay, they're dead. Like, regardless, let's just say it goes bad. You trade 1 for both of their lives. Your Draven's now out of the lane. Like, he's now out of the lane. He does whatever he wants. And you just afforded him 2 more kills, essentially. And cool. And now the Draven goes where he wants. And,
and the tough part is, and you mentioned it too with, I forget who it was Kane, where Draven couldn't kill the Kane anymore. Like, that was the turn.
That's it.
That was it. As soon as you hit that wall where it's like Draven's no longer powerful, it's like you just lost your win condition. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that too, I was like, game's over.
See, and I told you, I was like, and I named it. I said, there's going to be a time in this game. Because it's looking good. I was like, there's going to be a time in this game where Draven gets nullified. And as soon as that fight happened at top, I was like, he can't kill it. That's it. Game's over.
Done. It's done.
Game's over.
Your win condition's over. Because your Diana is not your win condition. Your Kai'Sa is not your win condition. You're not the win condition that Draven was.
Yep.
And you needed to help support him get ahead. So yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, that's the wall. Like, it's approaching. Better players know when it's going to happen. Like, at what time, at what build, at what level. that happens. Like really strong players know that. I just know eventually it's going to happen, and it happens pretty quick. And so you need to like know, you need to see that ahead of time. Like, you know, Weava and I were both talking about it, and we're like, okay, that's when it happened.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
I guess that was the moment.
Game's over. Yeah.
Yeah. Really good junglers know when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they try to win the game before that happens.
Right. See, and now like I know like there'll be times where we're going off like on like a I don't want to call it a rant because there's actually a focus in it, and most of the ideas like tie towards this, but
there was a lot to discuss here though.
Yeah, there's a lot to discuss. There was nothing majorly bad with the play that you were doing, but a lot of it ties back to you boil it down to something that's very simple, and you say like this is low elo game. So for the most part, people kill stuff, and that's cool. They're like, wrecked them. That's it. That's all there is. It's not I wrecked them. What else can we get? Can we take some stuff? Like you run up in somebody's house, right? You kill them, and then you just walk out without stealing anything. That's basically what it was like. Like you just go, you're dead in your lane. All right, I'm going back in the jungle. So like if it's that kind of scenario, you're like,
senseless violence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just kill them like cause I could. Yeah. And then you're just like, I'm out. So like there's nothing wrong with that.
Times you did try to take their stuff, like you invaded.
Yeah, you walked up in their house. There's like they're having a party and you didn't know because they're like everybody's in the next room. And you're like, oh man.
And you're still actively taking their shit. Like they see you. Like they see you doing it.
He's like wearing headphones and he's just like jamming while he's just trying to steal something, and there's like a whole room of people standing behind him. That's the best way I can think of, describing that kind of play out.
Be more careful with that.
Yeah,
invades are fine. There's calculated ways that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just I like to add there's negative criticism and positive criticism in terms of not in terms of like your feelings, but in terms of like logical statements. So there are things that you shouldn't do and should do. So that's the thing you shouldn't do. What you should do is think about where the enemy jungler is and where your lanes are at, where the pressure was at.
Right.
So if there's a bunch of pressure bottom, your bot lane's pushing and stuff like that. Let's say you even have like really good mid pressure too. And let's say you've lost top pressure, jungling the enemy raptors in that game would have been fine, but you don't have that information. So you're basically like in a high risk situation. And you have to think about like, you can basically ask yourself, what are the odds of me getting killed for doing this? Right? Like, what are the odds? And there are ways to calculate those odds based on the information that's on the board, like on your mini map. It'll tell you the odds. And really good players get better at calculating the actual odds.
And it's good that you brought up that point because you said the Raptors, and that was when we were like, oh, you're running, and then he had that. What was it? It was like a three people. We were like, we both said it. We're like, there's at least two here, and then it was three people. So like when he was running away, actually, it was the Caitlyn was in mid because you were like, oh, why are you? That's greedy. So the Caitlyn was like one of the weakest players on the team at that time.
Yeah.
So she warded over the wall. I think it was her.
Yeah, somebody did on the Raptors.
So, and he ran towards the weak side of the map. He ran up towards the weak side of the map where you already knew Fiora was, and she was strong. So we were both like, there's got to be at least two here, instead of just running out of the jungle and going, I might run into Caitlyn. So like that goes back to it.
Cleaver the Caitlyn in the face, tell her fuck off, and walk away. Like I don't even try to kill her. I just tell her back up. I'm leaving.
Like I'm walking out. I'll take you out on the way. It doesn't matter. Like just go. Which is very interesting because there was another scenario when we played yesterday. He was in that scenario and he was running around, and I don't know if it was around the alcove or something. And I was like, just commit to the one side. I was like, and it was an 80 carry. I was like, just kill her and run out. And he killed her, and I was like, run through the turret. And he ran through the turret, and he was like, I can't believe that worked. And it was like, yeah, because like she's the weak part of the flank. So like that's what you have to understand. And like Gun's been saying, like your strong side of the map is not the top side. So there is almost, unless you confirm there is nobody there, you never run to that side because there's no way possible. Like, and we were talking about getting things for like your death on invades. Your bot lane's pushed up. You can invade that side all day long because if their bot lane comes, okay, if let's just say you die. The worst thing that happens is you die. If you die, your bot lane gets the turret and it's gone. Like they're out. Like you've achieved. It's the worst case scenario of getting him out of the lane, that you could have because you died for it, but you still kind of accomplished something, but it wasn't free. So
yeah,
like those are the things. There's so much. There's so many levels.
Jungling is super hard. If you had picked top or something like that, this would have been
Yeah.
way shorter. But
Yeah.
jungling is the hardest position in the game. I know there's a lot of information. The number one thing that I hope you take away from this is that pre-prep is, in my opinion, the biggest thing you can work on. Like the mental part of it, specifically pre-prep. So during champ pick and ban phase and the loading screen and the minute and a half you get before the game starts, you should be actively thinking like hard about all of the permutations, strategies, builds that they can potentially go through, damage output, who's going to be the threat and the non-threat, what does your front to back look like, what do your jungle fights look like. Like you have time actually to think about all those things and to imagine those scenarios before they happen, and so that you can dictate which paths you want to take, and that can all be done in 4 minutes. The pick ban phase, the loading screen, and the minute and a half. Like you have plenty of time to think about that. And so that's why before the video, before I even hit play, I was like, I want to do analysis on this. Like there's a lot of information already present, and it's just a matter of thinking ahead and being the master of all of those possible permutations. So I would say that there's a lot of things going on here. We talked about a lot, but to me, that's the number one thing that you could do to help you instantly get better.
There you go.
What's your number one thing? We talked about a lot. What's like the one thing you hope he takes away from this?
I don't want to piggyback on what you were just saying there.
Okay, no, you can.
But
no, you think it's number one too.
No, but like just even let's just say he's on the map, because you're like you already said, like thinking ahead of time. That
he's on the rift.
It literally is that. It's thinking about just even your next step, like just thinking one step ahead, because like you said, you're doing what you call like flying by, what is it, the seat of your pants. Yeah. So you're just like, I'm here, I'm doing this, cool. Oh, I'm here, I'm doing this, cool. Like there's no professional, and none of us are professionals, but there's no professional, there's no job where I would say that you just go in and do that. Like whether it's, teaching, actually playing like sports, you're doing any type of coding, military, everyone has a pre-plan, right? And then they have the ability to react, as he said, and change whatever it is that you had planned. And you go, oh, okay, I need to go here. Oh, I'm 100 gold short. I didn't get a kill this game. Okay, I'm gonna go here, and then I'm backing. Like that's the kind of stuff that you have to like already be thinking of. You have to be thinking ahead of time. And I say it to everybody, and we have guys that have played this game for years. Look at your map. Do not look at your camp. There's professional games where you will see junglers walk over wards. And the reason they walk over the ward a lot of times is because their dot is covering the ward on the map, even if it's control wards, and they walk through a brush multiple times and don't see it because they're not looking at themselves. So like, I know like it's a thing, people have to like shift back and forth, but if you're doing camps, it's literally like if you're playing an RPG and you've beat this game 1,000,000 times. You've done that jungle camp 100 times probably by now, 1,000 times by now. You don't need to look at that camp. You know how the camp reacts. You know how much damage it's going to take for the most part once you have like an item. Like, you don't have to stare at it. Look at your map. Already in that 5 seconds it's going to take you, 10 seconds it takes you to clear that camp, you should already be looking and going, my mid's pushing, I'm coming there immediately. Like already be knowing like this is the message I'm sending to my legs. I need to go there. Like that's it. That's all I got. That's last. That's the
one
icing
thing to work on.
Yeah,
there's obviously work on everything, but just the one, if you got to focus on one thing with the sea of information.
It is.
Yeah.
It's the good place like you said. Start. It's the foresight, like you said, in champ select, pregame. Think about what you're doing, and then on the rift, just think 1-2 steps ahead. Like you're doing something. What are you doing after this? Say, because that translates, like you said, to okay, I'm killing somebody right now. I'm killing them. What am I doing after this kill? What am I doing? Because if it's just I'm recalling because I'm missing 500 HP, that's probably not the answer. So, got to look to get the big stuff, bro. Big stuff. But like I said, your aggression will pay off when you play with better players. Like it's, and I mean on your team. Other players who are better than you, when you take those like weird fights, they're gonna make you pay for it. So you're gonna, better players will help you to tone that and like dial it in to when it's appropriate. And that's how
you
you're going to learn.
You got away with so much.
Yeah.
You got away with so much aggression this game.
Yeah. You're going to learn. You'll learn it. And you'll be like, oh, I can't fight that guy. Like when you run into the lane, you'll go, they got 2 levels on me. There's no way in hell I win this. Because they're going to be mechanically sound. We'll say sound. To where they go, I know how to play my champion. I know what I'm able to do. I can fight you and kill you. Because that's the first thing I think of. Like you said, if I'm playing AD carry, like, but we're in bot lane. We're in bot lane together. And we see a jungler coming in, and their bot lane is closer to the turret. We're 2v1 in this guy. Like 100% we're 2v1 in this guy before they even get to us. Like that's all there is. And like that's the same thought that person has if they're level 7 and you're 5 coming in as Olaf. I go, I'm killing this dude. Like that's all. So that being said, if you have any last words, Gun?
No, that's it.
That's it.
If you have any
all
questions, feel free to message me, us.
There you go. So that is the North Korean. Feel free. He plays in our groups often. So if he says something to you and it sounds rude, don't take it that way because he's saying it because you need to work on it. Other than that, feel free if you have any questions to hit me up either in the YouTube comments or in game. Add me if anybody else is watching this video and it's not about you. But I want to thank Gun for being here. We're going to move on. We're going to get some games in, and I'm going to have fun with the rest of my evening. So thank you very much, Gun, for being here.
Thanks.
All right. We out. Peace.